So welcome to the IELTS speaking mock test. So today we will do two parts, which is speaking part 2 and part 3. Now we shall begin. First, let's start with part 2. So now you are given a cue card, which the topic is about a town or a city you want to live in the future. And there are some clues here. You should say where it is. How do you know it? What is famous for? And why would you like to live there?
Okay, so now I will begin my speech. So as a hotel, I have set foot in a host of places, but if I really have to choose a city or town to put down roots in the long run, my ultimate choice will be Đà Lạt. So just to let you know, it's the largest city in the Central Highlands region and one of the most popular tourist attractions in Vietnam. And the first time I knew about the city was 5 years ago. And that was during summertime, and I was desperately searching for a summer getaway to get rid of the extreme heat of the city where I lived. And it turned out to be the most sagacious choice I've made in my life. So I chose to visit the city, and Đà Lạt was endowed with all year around temperate weather, pristine and breathtaking scenery that is a feast for the eyes, and European-inspired architecture from the colonial period. So Đà Lạt has long been touted as the city of love and eternal spring, and its distinctive microclimate, along with its unadulterated environment, is just like a far cry from other cities in Vietnam, and making this small city an ideal destination for escaping from the busy metropolises. And needless to say, Đà Lạt attracts millions of tourists on a yearly basis. So there are some reasons behind my decisions to choose Đà Lạt as my future home. So first of all, I'm a nature lover, so Đà Lạt is just like a paradise for me. It is a green city with many tall trees and colorful flowers that can be found in every nook and cranny. And second of all, the weather there is pleasantly cold all year round, which is absolutely cut out for a person who sweats easily and has an aversion to hot weather like me. And in addition, a thing that captivates me most is there is no traffic light in Đà Lạt, which is a one-of-a-kind and interesting feature that cannot be found in anywhere else in Vietnam. So in conclusion, that is certainly a wonderful place that has virtually everything I long for, a place to settle down the road.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good. So now we will move to part 3. First question, how cities have changed in recent years?
I think all cities in today's world have undergone some sweeping changes recently, and the first visible sign of change is the income rate and employment prospects. So as more industry branches and international corporations crop up, there are more well-paid career opportunities for well-qualified people in the city, which leads to the growth in the income rate. And the city's inhabitants also witness a tangible improvement in the facilities and amenities as a result of society's development. So recreational facilities such as parks, cinemas, and shopping malls must room to cater for the increasing demand of the citizens. That is not to mention the improvement in education quality, which has made a huge contribution to the city's development. So for instance, more educational institutions have recently been built and redecorated compared to the past. And also the quality and expertise of the faculty have been prioritized and improved. So, but contrary to these positive changes, there has been an influx of citizens into cities, which resulted in increased urbanization. And this begets many problematic issues such as traffic congestion or a higher cost of living and environmental degradation. So since the cost of living has become too overpriced, many people cannot afford it, and a lot of shantytowns and slums have sprung up. Yeah.
Okay, so moving to the next questions. Why have cities increased in size in recent years?
I think the recent urbanization and expansion of cities can be attributed to a host of factors. So the first driving force is globalization, which has led to an influx of people from various nations, cultures, and backgrounds in cities across the world, thereby causing an upsurge in diversity and population growth. So other drivers include technological advancement, good employment prospects, high living standards, state-of-the-art infrastructures, well-planned and efficient transport networks, making living closer to city centers more sought after. That's where population are increasingly flocking from rural to urban centers, creating megacities with greater population density than ever before.
So what are the challenges created by ever-growing cities?
So these days, many city dwellers around the world enjoy an unprecedented level of development, yet this has come at a steep price. So today's cities are grappling with a litany of problems, ranging from gridlock traffic and overflowing landfills to unaffordable housing and growing inequality. So according to the United Nations, nearly 70% of people are projected to live in urban areas, placing a significant strain on cities and the environment. So due to the unparalleled rate of urbanization, many metropolises will have to confront the ever-increasing needs of the growing number of residents, including providing adequate accommodation, transportation, and energy systems. And at the same time, many cities have to face the challenge of environmental degradation and climate change, since they are responsible for an estimated 3/4 of global CO2 emissions. All of these issues will need to be fully addressed to ensure a sustainable living for cities.
In what ways do you think cities of the future will be different to cities today?
The world is undergoing its most dynamic era of change. So I think today's cities will be constantly evolving and becoming so much different down the road. So one major divergence will be the ever-expanding role of technology. Futuristic cities will be smart cities that utilize technologies to manage and use data more efficaciously, better protect their limited resources, and optimize the traffic flow, and respond quickly to changes in environmental conditions. And I think AI and Internet of Things will also be integrated into every aspect of life to improve people's living condition. And the second difference is a tendency for environmental sustainability. So many cities in the future will minimize their carbon footprint by investing in green infrastructure projects, such as clean and renewable energy sources and sustainable transportation systems. And finally, public health initiatives may be prioritized with a great emphasis on creating healthy communities for residents by providing easy access to nutritious food options and promoting physical activities. All these potential changes will inevitably create better better interconnected cities that lean towards a more inclusive and sustainable future.
So next question, what noise do we have in cities?
There are many sources of noise that can add up to terrible noise pollution happening in cities right now, which is having an adverse impact on people's quality of life. So the first type noise will be traffic noise, especially during the rush hour, produced by personal vehicles or public transport. The second type noise is industrial noise from factories or construction sites. And others will be street noise from human activities like talking or singing, and alarming noise from cars, buildings, and emergency vehicles, and amplified noise from music concerts, sporting events, and festivals. So all these sources of noise contribute to noise pollution, which is a perennial and problematic issue in many urban areas. So for example, I'm currently living near a construction site. Like they are building a a skyscraper, and the noise they produce never fails to distract me from working, and thereby undermining my concentration and productivity. Yeah.
So why do people like to live in your country?
In Vietnam, the population is concentrated unevenly between the delta area and the mountainous area. Like people have a tendency to settle down in areas having convenient natural conditions and flat terrain. So that's why the population is much lower in the mountainous area compared to that in the deltas or cities. So for example, the majority of people in Vietnam live in two big deltas like Red River and Cửu Long River, or in big cities like Hải Phòng, Quảng Ninh, or Da Nang. In addition, city dwellers get the lion's share of my country's population. This is primarily due to the employment prospects and room for improvement of metropolises that act as driving forces for people to flock there. So to set an example, most people in Vietnam, especially youngsters, move to Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City, which are relatively capital and a metropolis and economic center in Vietnam.
So why do many people move to the city?
So today's cities are witnessing a mass exodus of people, and part of this growing trend can be attributed to some factors. One prime reason for this is the availability of job prospects and room for self-improvement in the cities, with big corporations and industries having their headquarters there. Besides, urban dwellers enjoy a variety of educational and cultural activities and recreational options provided by libraries, museums, art galleries, and they also have more opportunities to expand the network and expect to meet people from different walks of life or various ethnicities, religions, or cultures, as cities are heading towards globalization. Moreover, living in a city can enhance people's computer literacy and deepen their technological insights that will help them flourish in a technology-driven society.
So what are the advantages of living close to the workplace?
I'd say there are multiple virtues that one can enjoy when having a short commute. First of all, having a home close to your workplace would help you save a considerable amount of time, letting you invest those your precious time in other important things. Not to mention the day-to-day concern of reaching late is no longer a problem. And secondly, people having a short commute to the workplace will incur less expense, such as fuel costs or public transit fares. They also have reduced maintenance costs for their vehicle as well. Moreover, staying close to your workplace means less time behind the wheel, and this can reduce one's carbon footprint, thereby mitigating the impacts of environmental pollution. And finally, traveling more would mean exposure to pollution from a large number of vehicles and public transport that might take a toll on your health. So it can be said that a home close by would help you maintain a healthier and more sustainable life. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the end of the mock test. Thank you for your speech.
We will begin with part 2. Describe a town or city you want to live in the future. You should say, where is it? How do you know it? What is it famous for? And why should you like to live there? Now you can start your speech.
So since I was a small kid, I always longed for living in Tokyo, which is the capital city of Japan. It is located in the eastern region of Japan. Tokyo is one of the most populous metropolitan area in the world. And I have heard about Tokyo on the TV when I was a child and have also seen a lot of news about it on the internet recently. Tokyo is famous for cutting-edge technologies as well as its traditional values. Specifically, skyscrapers, modern facilities, and so on exist everywhere in Tokyo, which make this largest city considered as state-of-the-art. In addition, there's also a large number of temples and pagodas in this city, which reflects its rich history. Nevertheless, the crucial reason why I want to settle down in Tokyo is modern technologies and the food there. To cite an example, Tokyo is well known for its special cuisine such as sushi, tempura, ramen, and such. To sum up, I have a strong affinity for Tokyo in lieu of its cultural, cuisine, history, and high technology. And I also look forward to setting foot in Tokyo too.
Okay. So we're moving to part 3, the last part of the IELTS speaking mock test. The first question is how cities have changed in recent years.
So recently, cities have modified a lot compared to the past. Due to the population growth, digitization, especially the Industrial Revolution, new technologies and innovative approach are being developed in the cities. For instance, instead of buying things at the supermarket, citizens are likely to shopping online via apps and websites. And also, in addition, the use of digital platforms in the way people work have also been influenced. And there are more and more skyscrapers, modern building infrastructure patterns appear in the cities too.
The next question is why have cities increased in size in recent years?
So I think that the reason why cities have been increased in size in recent years is due to the global population. So since the global population has been growing rapidly, cities are dealing with the issue that accommodate a large number of citizens. As you can see, many people are living in slums and having a desperate living condition due to the overcrowded. Furthermore, due to the urbanizations, more and more people from rural areas are moving to the cities. with a view to seizing opportunities in applying jobs as well as seeking for a higher standard of living.
What are the challenges created by ever-growing cities?
So I think that owing to the population growth in the cities, overcrowding and traffic congestion should be problems which are difficult for cities to solve quickly. With the insufficient infrastructure and ineffective traffic management system, this situation can lead to air pollution, make it hard for people to travel comfortably, and might result in accidents. And moreover, there's also a problem that the shortage of employment opportunities, which can cause in high unemployment rate and also the poverty levels.
In what ways do you think cities of the future will be different to cities today?
Well, I think that maybe cities of the future might be more sustainable and be eco-friendly. I think that cities of the future tends to prioritize the sustainability, like they reduce their environmental footprint by using and use the approach of renewable energy sources, green buildings, and also the use of sustainable transportation systems. And also, as the world populations continues to grow rapidly, cities of the future are likely to become more compact and dense, like the taller buildings and the skyscrapers are mushrooming, and this can lead to smaller living places and many people will in the condition of homeless.
What noise do we have in cities?
Well, personally, I assume that there are a lot of sources of noise which make a contribution to noise pollutions in the cities, which can have like detrimental effects on health, sleep, and the life quality. Like to demonstrate, we can see that the traffic noise from cars, trucks, buses, and trains, they can be a significant source of noise pollution in cities. In some cities which have airplanes, there will be aircraft noise from airplanes taking off and landing too, and also the industrial noise from factories and construction sites, and of course the street noise from people talking, music, and other human activities. And furthermore, there will be the alarms from cars, buildings, and emergency vehicle source, and all of these noise can contribute to high levels of noise pollution in the cities.
Where do people like to live in your country?
Well, I think that in Vietnam, most people live in two big deltas, which is Red River and Kieu Long River. So first, people mainly live in big cities such as Cần Thơ, Nha Trang, Huế, Vinh, and so on. And also the population is distributed nearly every part of our country. But of course, in the mountainous area, the population is much lower than that of the deltas or in the cities.
Why do many people move to the city?
I think that most of people are likely to move to the cities since in the cities they might seek a higher or a better employment opportunities. Like in the urban areas, they provide more advanced education as well as the healthcare facilities. And in addition, young people can also enjoy like a great deal of fascinating entertainment and also the recreation activities, such as amusement parks, cinemas, and shopping malls, and so on, which is obviously an essential part of a city glamour.
What are the advantages of living close to the workplace?
I assume that living near the workplace can have many benefits. First, it can help people to save more time, like waking up early and rushing around the house to really for work on time is like it can be a daily exercise in stress, both mentally and physically. And furthermore, when you live near the workplace, you can save money, like you don't have to consume money on the way you go to the workplace by car or by bus. You can go on foot, and also you can reduce the carbon footprint since you can go on foot and you don't use car or like your private transport to go to work. And in addition, things like bad weather or illness are less likely to keep people who live near workplace at home. And I think that to cite an example, in many urgent cases when people need to show up quick at their company, it wouldn't be a problem. It wouldn't be a problem if they live near their workplace.
Okay, thank you. That is the end of the IELTS speaking mock test.